awesome quarterback down.
Yeah, even with the quarterback situation. I mean, hard to tell a 13-0 team they don't get to go play.
Yeah, especially with in a big top 5, like Power 5 conference too.
And a team who won't be seeing their conference championship for the 3rd straight year, Ohio State drops a 3rd straight edition of the game to Michigan and Ann Arbor this year. And, I mean, Ryan Day has lost 7 games as an Ohio State coach. 3 of them are to Michigan. 3 of them are in the playoffs. Seems like he wins a lot, but he doesn't win when he needs it.
Yeah, it's Ohio State. They're always a threat. They are always, but it's at the same time they're also always losing.
They always get to the end of the year.
And, their team is so talented, and it's I wouldn't like Ohio State. I think their team is awesome. And I think I don't really know what to say. Michigan just got the better of them this year again.
You think if they don't make the playoffs, do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. plays in the bowl game? The objective best receiver in his class.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
And then Alabama escapes a scare in Auburn on a last-second touchdown. That was insane. A 31-yard touchdown on a 4th and goal play. I mean, Auburn that was kind of bad on Auburn's part. I mean, all you have to do is cover the end zone. You have to cover like a 50 by 10 foot area of the whole football field, and somehow they gave up a touchdown and lost in glorious fashion. And to give up the ball to set up that game-winning drive, they muffed a punt on like their own 30.
Yeah, that Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl, it's predictably unpredictable every year. Like each team has got a chance.
Kick 6.
No matter what the rankings are looking like, no matter what the records are looking like, that is always a great game to watch. And this year was no exception. Such an exciting finish to that one for sure.
And then a couple other teams, Georgia and Washington, escaping their rivalry games with close wins, and Louisville, who needed to win this week. I mean, there was a chance, they win, and they win the ACC. They make it to the playoffs, but they dropped one to Kentucky, so we will not be seeing them. And then the conference championship games, you'll see ACC, Florida State versus Louisville in Charlotte this weekend. SEC, Georgia versus Alabama in Atlanta. Big 12 is Oklahoma State versus Texas. I believe that game will be in Dallas. Big 10, Michigan versus Iowa in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Of course.
And then the Pac-12, Washington versus Oregon. I actually have no clue where that game is held. But a lot of implications in those games. Florida State wins, they're in. Winner of Washington, Oregon's probably in. Michigan and Georgia both got to win both win, they get in. It really comes down to this.
A lot of good football clubs playing.
Exciting.
In big games this week.
Will be very exciting.
It definitely will. Kind of sad. Kind of a final salute to the Pac-12.
Good send off.
It really, it's sad. But these teams are also
sad to see it go.
Two of the teams you'd want to be like.
When I think of a Pac-12 championship, I'm thinking of Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
And then in the NFL, with the Thanksgiving slate, the Lions drop. It's like their 7th straight loss on Thanksgiving. They are also now 0-13 on Thanksgiving Day games, with the moon being like a waning gibbous. Weird coincidence, I suppose, but 13 games like that is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. That is just a kind of crazy, hand-wavy, voodoo kind of thing.
And the Dolphins, in the first ever Black Friday football game, scored a touchdown that I never thought I'd see. A 99-yard interception return for a touchdown off a Hail Mary.
That's the nightmare scenario.
That's actually the opposite of what anybody ever wants when they throw a Hail Mary. You're fine if they, come down with the football in the end zone and it's like, it's a touchback, we go to half anyway. But to go to half down an extra 7 points.
That is why you nail it. That's the coach's fear, the conservative coach for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a lot more Hail Marys at half in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
And then the Jaguars beat the Texans after the Texans missed a last-second 58-yard field goal. Had the accuracy, just a couple feet short, bonked it off the crossbar.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles beat the Bills in overtime. The Bills are now 0-5 in overtime since they prompted a rule change when they played the Chiefs a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, kind of, I guess, shooting themselves in the foot. haven't been able to get it done.
Yeah, well, it's so, man, the Bills. I'm a big fan of the Bills. It's a tough loss. You know, that game was so close, and the Eagles are just so good. I feel like I almost feel like they're never in trouble.
I know.
Like they always, like I feel like they're in control, even in those overtime situations, even when their back's up against the wall. Like they're almost just like sabotaging themselves just to like maybe have a challenge. You know, I like they're so good.
And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, who recently just fired Matt Canada, got their first time in 45 games. They have gained a total of over 400 yards of offense. Never happened. Never happened under Matt Canada. That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are just what a funny season they're having. Like there are so many statistics of just looking at how their offense and
not a single one of their
past.
offense players looks like they want to be there.
No.
Like watching clips of Deontay Johnson block on obvious run plays where he just kind of walks up to his cornerback,
Yeah.
doesn't ever engage.
But they win. They're winning games.
They are. I think they're like second in their division right now, which is kind of insane.
Unbelievable.
And then absolutely boring football game last night between the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears did not score a single touchdown and won. Please stop putting these terrible games at prime time. Put good games like the Eagles and the 49ers, which I have as my game of the week next week.
I think that's a pretty I cannot agree more with that. It's crazy the Eagles are the underdogs.
I know.
It's that will be a knockout,
That will be an
drag out
exciting game.
kind of game for sure.
Then moving on to the NBA, starting to get in the swing of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lauri Markkanen, we got to put him in the Michael Porter Jr. Cam Thomas Bucket Getter Award. 38 points and 0 assists against the Suns on November 19th.
Let's go.
Impressive.
Yeah, Larry Markkanen, he probably should have been in like he's one of the players I was thinking of when creating the award, because he's really come on these past 2 years, and he is a king of getting some buckets, not swinging the rock. Cam Thomas, very sadly, is hurt right now.
I know, very sad.
So hoops are just generally down.
I feel like the award is designed for like a stretch four.
Mm-hmm.
Like some guy who his production is offensive and defensive, but it is not passing.
Yeah, we need you taking contested threes in transition when a layup's available. That's the spirit of the award right there.
And then some controversy in Oklahoma City with the Josh Giddey dating a high schooler news. Apparently saw something today that Sam Presti had said Andrew Bogut said that inside the Thunder organization, they knew about this for at least a year and are yet to do anything. So
that's really, we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, that's a situation to monitor. Very, very unfortunate news to have to break, but
yeah, it's so unfortunate too, because the OKC is like, they're such an exciting team, and it's unfortunate that this will be the convo around them for a while.
I know you got Shea and Chet, and your conversation is hiding somebody who dated a minor.
Yeah, it's I mean,
tough.
I love all their guys, I guess, except for Giddey now, but and they're so solid. They're doing awesome this year. A game to highlight is last night. I watched the Nuggets beat the Clippers, except that Jokic wasn't playing, Jamal Murray wasn't playing, and Aaron Gordon wasn't playing, and the Nuggets won by 10.
Ooh.
So
I'm going to guess both Kawhi and Paul George weren't. One of the two of them was not playing.
Full strength.
Really?
The lineup was Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi, and Zubats, and they lost.
Oh my God, dude! Could you imagine having that lineup in like 2015?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. The Clippers are the weirdest team.
If you show somebody in 2015, if you could time travel and you could show somebody in 2015 the 2023 Clippers lineup, their head would explode.
They would, yeah. And I don't know. It's just that'll be a weird experiment. I don't think it'll do very well. James Harden was on his
I think he's washed. I think officially James Harden is washed.
He's just such a weird culture guy. How many teams has he been on recent? This is his fourth team.
He went OKC to the Rockets.
Fifth team.
To the
Nets.
The Nets to the Sixers to the
now
Clippers.
To the
5 teams. Oof.
Unbelievable. And it's just
Westbrook's been around by now too. OKC.
Yeah.
OKC. Houston.
Wizards.
Both LA teams. He was on the Wizards for a bit.
Yeah. I definitely will I think, hot take for this week, I think that Russell Westbrook is now underrated. The graph on how much people like Russell Westbrook is
Has hit a huge drop.
It really has. It's been in free fall since any time he plays in the playoffs for the Lakers. But now I think like Russell Westbrook on his current deal, like $5 million, I would be happy to have Russell Westbrook on my team for $5 million. I feel like he'd be a good off the bench guy.
I agree.
So there you go. That's my official hot take of the week.
Moving on to college basketball, finally starting to get in the swing of everything. Ranked teams playing ranked teams. A lot of upsets. Ohio State, who was unranked at the time, upset Alabama, beat them by 10. FAU, who I believe was ranked 19, if I'm not mistaken, beat number 12 A&M. Number 18 Villanova beat number 13 UNC. Number 20 Colorado State beat number 8 Creighton. And Memphis beat number 14, 15, somewhere in there, Arkansas. Memphis was unranked at the time. And then best game of the week coming up. I mean, not a whole lot. We're still in the kind of awkward growing stages where teams they've done their early season gauntlet. They're waiting till conference play now. They're kind of just playing mid-major after mid-major, just getting games in. Number 15 Creighton versus 7-0 Nebraska. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I believe both Creighton's in Omaha, Nebraska's in Lincoln. I feel like that's got to be at least a little bit of a rivalry.
Yeah. It's so funny to see how the initial rankings fall and drop and whatever. It's also shout out to Purdue for winning that tournament, the Maui one or whatever.
The Maui Invitation. Oh, that's such an. I actually posted about this on Snapchat. That tournament is so unserious to me.
Yeah.
There's a Division II team, Chaminade of Hawaii. They're in Maui. That's why they play in the tournament every year. They were 1-2 against Division II teams going into the tournament. Then went in, played Kansas, UCLA, and Syracuse. That's just so unserious.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh my God.
But yeah, with the beginning of season tournaments and invitationals out of the way, going to be in a bit of a slow patch for some college basketball until conference play starts to pick up, which will be an exciting time. Then another league, about a quarter of the way through the season now, is the NHL, and the Rangers and the Kings are wagons. For some odd reason, the Kings are. I actually have no clue how. The Rangers, it makes sense. This is kind of on brand for them. Be really, really good early in the year, have really good goalies, have really good everything, and then get to the playoffs, play a team that you're blatantly better than, and then self-destruct on paper. And then the Kings, I don't even know. I have no idea what's going on in LA. And then the Canucks starting to hit a slump. Talked about them earlier, starting off hot. Same with the Bruins, both teams who got hot recently. Canucks are 2-4 in their last 6. Bruins have dropped their last 3 straight, including a blowout loss to Columbus last night. Losing to Columbus is not good. And then crazy penalties in the Ottawa-Florida game. The Tkachuk brothers met back up. There was a scuffle at one point. All 10 guys on the ice got 10-minute game misconducts. It panned to the bench. There were 12 people on each bench. And somebody got fined $2,000 for instigating it all. It's a whole mess. It was a guy ran into a goalie, and then another guy cross-checked Matthew Tkachuk. And then it's they just opened the floodgates to all the hatred those players had towards anybody.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's all from me. I mean,
No, that'll wrap it up here.
I will. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys potentially next year.
Indeed.